Hey, welcome back to my channel. I missed you. You already know. I just finished watching recently this show on Netflix called Beef, but specifically season 2. If anybody's seen that show, can we both just agree that that was insane? Like what even that show, the symbolism in that show and the power dynamics and the structure and the philosophical and psychological angles of that show has me it had me literally. I was actually eating popcorn and I was like there's no way. I was like like I can't. And I just feel like I don't know who else has watched that show, and I feel like I would be butchering the synopsis of that show. But I recommend that if you haven't seen it, you have to see it. It gives modern day, if you're interested in or if you shows that have to do with power dynamics, hierarchies, white collar, psychological, very, those. It's just one of those shows that just it's basically about the inner workings and dynamics between characters who work at a um, private members club. And I always found this very interesting because I've worked at two private members clubs. I was a server at two golf courses, and being a server, you see different things. Being a server is already one thing. Depends where you're serving at. And yeah, I just remember job at a my first serving job at a country club specifically. I remember applying because I was like, okay, I want to do bev cart. I want to, be around people who are, earning a little bit more. I want a little bit more experience around that kind of around that kind of what's the word I'm looking for? I guess I would say I wanted experience working and serving around people who I guess are of a certain status or earn a certain amount. I remember working at these clubs and doing a lot of observing and chatting, and I was always so curious about the inner workings. And I remember the last club I worked at, I had a friend there who she just got along with all of these members. They would chat and I used to be nervous. I was a little bit nervous, right? But they would chat and they would have a really good rapport and banter. And I remember just turning to her and I was like, how do you do that? What do they talk? What do you talk to them about? How are you so natural and confident to speak to any of them like you would speak to me? Or you, it's I just didn't understand. And but yeah, more so than that, I was also interested in wanting to work at those places for the access and potential opportunity, right? Because it's again, I know I reference the water bottle thing in my personal life to people I talk to. I reference this water bottle thing, but the water bottle theory. I made a whole video. It's a water bottle at the gas station is 60 cents, but a water bottle at the airport is $6 to $8. So if you think about positioning and you think about, being a server, you could serve, I served at a, hole in the wall breakfast diner, and I was serving crackheads and whatever. So you could do that, but you can also serve at a country club, a golf course, or a members club, and you're around people who have certain access and opportunities available, and you can serve, but it's just about positioning, right? So, but anyways, this show Beef, I found it so interesting because I just remembered obviously it wasn't a one-to-one experience, a show on Netflix with all these with drama and all kinds of craziness is different than like, I was just serving whatever. But there's little bits and pieces of the inner dynamics of the club that I was like, oh my gosh, like like that part I can relate to, or that I can, like, I've seen that happen, or I understand that because like I've seen it. And it just really goes to show like it just like my mind went and then like every single episode, the title card of like the name of the episode was put on top of like a historic painting or something. Like, it was actually really cool. Like, anyways, I'd recommend you all watch it, because if you like any of those things they talked about, you'll definitely be interested. It's almost like a modern version of like, I don't want to say like a monarchy, right? But like, or like a hierarchy or monarchy, but how like in like monarchies there's like a king and a queen and princesses and knights and like, different things, and like the dynamics and like all that stuff. But like in a golf course, it's also kind of like that too in a way, and like, just like in its own way. I don't know. I recommend people watch this show, and let me know what you thought about it in the comments if you've seen it, and if you haven't, you should watch it. Season 2 specifically. Season 1, I think it's like a whole different storyline. Season 2 has like a whole different storyline. But yeah, even when it comes to like, I don't know if anybody noticed like the ants and like the bugs and just like the choices and like the little like, I don't know, I just thought the character development, the symbolism, the choices, the positioning, it's very interesting, and it paints like, I don't want to say like, obviously it's a show, and obviously, there's like things are dramatized, and not everything is exactly what happens in real life, and like all these things, but it does put a mirror in front of different aspects of society, and like really like, especially things that don't really go spoken, or things that are kind of like unspoken, but like, you kind of just, if like, it really did a good job at making you feel like, oh my gosh, like they really did that, they really just like put that out there, but yeah. If you've also worked at a golf course, country club, private members club, let me know in the comments down below, and if you've seen that show, or if you're going to, or if you plan on it. And if you found let me know what you thought about it. But I love you so much, and have a great rest of your day.